Welcome to today's lecture on scope of practice, standards of care, and HIPAA for medical assistants. In this session, we will explore what medical assistants are legally permitted to do in their role, how professional standards guide quality and safety in patient care, and how federal regulations like HIPAA protect patient information. Understanding these principles ensures that every medical assistant practices safely, ethically, and within professional boundaries. By the end of this lecture, students will be able to define and apply the concepts of scope of practice, understand how standards of care relate to the medical assisting profession, identify provider roles, and explain key components of HIPAA, including privacy and release of information. The scope of practice defines the range of responsibilities a medical assistant may perform. It varies by state and employer. Medical assistants can perform administrative and clinical tasks, but may not diagnose, prescribe, or independently treat patients. Understanding these limits protects both the patient and the professional. Standards of care are the minimum professional expectations for safe and effective practice. These are often set by professional organizations and accrediting agencies. Following them ensures quality patient care and protects providers and institutions from liability. Healthcare providers have a responsibility to ensure that any tasks delegated to a medical assistant are appropriate and within that assistant's training and legal scope. Providers remain accountable for the care delivered by their team members, so clear communication and supervision are essential. HIPAA, or the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, is a federal law enacted to safeguard patient health information. It applies to all healthcare professionals, including medical assistants. HIPAA contains two major rules: the privacy rule, which protects how information is shared, and the security rule, which ensures electronic data protection. Violations can result in fines or even criminal charges. HIPAA privacy rule establishes who may access or share patient health information. Patients have the right to access and request copies of their medical records. PHI, or patient health information, includes all forms of identifiable information, whether written, spoken, or digital. Releasing information requires proper consent or authorization. When releasing patient information, written authorization must be obtained and the patient's identity verified. Only the minimum necessary information should be disclosed to fulfill the request. All disclosures must be documented in the patient's record for compliance purposes. Confidentiality extends beyond HIPAA compliance. Medical assistants must always respect patient privacy, avoid gossiping or discussing patients outside professional settings, and protect records and devices. Upholding ethical standards builds trust and reinforces professionalism in healthcare. In summary, medical assistants must know their scope of practice and follow the established standards of care. Providers ensure that delegated tasks are safe and appropriate. HIPAA safeguards patient privacy, and ethical behavior is essential in all aspects of medical assisting practice.